Hello and welcome to Profiles in Risk. This is your host, Tony Cañas. Today I have with me Johannes Kraus, co-founder at YOUTH Healthtech. And I did not ask how to pronounce your, what sounds like a very German last name. So hopefully I got close.
Yes, it was perfect. Hi, Tony.
Perfect. Thank you for joining me today. So I met Johannes at InsurTech New York in the spring. And we are now recording August 14th, so end of the summer. Are you in Germany right now? Back in Munich?
Yeah, right now I'm in Germany. I'm in between Germany and New York. We'll be in New York next week again, so looking forward to that.
Okay, excellent. We always give by the way, I hope you had a good summer. Hopefully, as a good European, you had like 6 weeks off in the summer as opposed to us Americans.
No, I had a good summer. Weather was awesome, and your smile also looks like you also had a good summer.
Yes,
we with the startup did not take a lot of time off. There's a lot of work to do, but usually Europeans are like that. That's true.
I figured that as an InsurTech founder, it's a little harder. So we always give the guest a chance to give the elevator pitch. What is YOUTH Healthtech?
So YOUTH Healthtech is developing a smartphone-based health screening. What does this mean? You just take your phone and 2 minutes of your time and take different data inputs like a face video, audio recordings, pictures of your eyes. And with that, we screen for 23 different biomarkers in 7 health areas. This gives you a first feeling if you are doing okay or you developed some problems. And we can help the end user to develop a more healthy lifestyle. And in case there is something severe happening, also to consult the doctor. We are distributing this through wellness companies and some insurers, and that's what we are doing.
Okay, so through wellness companies and I'm guessing health insurers or life insurers or both.
Yes, that's already an interesting question. So our main target are health insurance companies because you have much more regular touch points compared to life insurance companies. But there are interesting things going on in the InsurTech world. There are some life insurers also building new products where more and more checkups during the contract period are happening. And that's where our product also fits.
Okay. So face video, audio recording, and pictures of the eye. That is super interesting. Okay, so let's kind of go step by step. What can you get from the voice recording?
So the voice recordings are mainly for the areas in the mental health, brain health, and lungs health, because all is related to speech, and speaking and speech is a good representative of your mental health and of your brain functions. And machine learning algorithms have the beauty that they can detect very small changes in it and very small patterns. So when we see, for example, okay, your tone of voice is different than usual, it's different than the average, there might be a risk for depression or anxiety.
All right. And the face video, is it using just a normal video, or is it using the like with the iPhone, we have the facial, right? It opens up the phone on to my face and not to other faces, so it's doing a deeper 3D scan.
The face ID is the face scan is interesting. Is a lot related with colors. You see it now with my video. There comes some light in and here to my forehead. And basically, this light reflects in different patterns in red, green, and blue. It's always a combination, like a shirt. is always a combination of those colors. And what the machine learning algorithms in the background are doing is they are recognizing patterns of these color reflections. And the colors reflect differently when your blood flow is differently. So below your skin, there is blood flowing, and it's different when your heart pumps and when it doesn't. So that's how it can detect, for example, your heart rate or your blood pressure just from that light reflection patterns. You need some time for that. So the video is usually 30 to 40, in some cases even 60 seconds until it has really detected it, but it's possible.
All right. And the eyes, I know the eyes easily reflect bad liver health, like when they get yellow, and you can definitely see like sleep deprivation on the eyes. What else can you see from the eyes?
Yeah, so algorithms from the eyes, we are looking into different things. Like you mentioned, liver health is one part of it, but also metabolic health. So we are trying to develop algorithms in that space, like cholesterol, triglycerides, even HbA1c, so for pre-diabetic things. And the eye just changes, as you said, it changes the color. It gets a bit more yellow, it gets a bit more reddish around the middle. Also, the eye blood vessels, these very small things in your eye, can in different shapes and different colors, and are related then again to some of the systemic metabolic diseases.
Okay. Okay. Now, most of Europe, my understanding is that you guys have, you know, civilized countries as opposed to the US, where you've got a nationalized healthcare system that doesn't require you to file bankruptcy for getting a cold. So are you integrated into some of the national healthcare over in Germany and Europe, or are there also private health insurers that you're working with?
Good question. I would take this one step. I would zoom out a bit, because the healthcare systems, no matter if you look into Europe and Germany or the UK or the US, they all have a very similar problem, because they are all expensive. It's just a question of who pays it. So in the US, you have to pay it out of pocket mainly. In Germany, the people pay it because they pay a lot of taxes and a lot of money out of their salary to have this free healthcare. So there's no such thing as free healthcare. But why are they so expensive? They are so expensive because we spend all the money on treating diseases, on treating cancer, treating diabetes, treating cardiovascular disease. There are a lot of unhealthy people with costs the majority of the money we have. And with our solution, we want to work against that, because our aim is that you can stay healthy and you don't get that sick and you don't need the support of the healthcare system. That's why we really place this as a preventive solution, where we screen, and when you see, oh, this is going out of range, then you can do something, or at least detect it early, so it's much cheaper to treat. And obviously, since the health insurance companies have to pay for this, they like it if we can reduce their costs. So that's basically the main thing of prevention. When you do better prevention, more aware of your health, and optimize your lifestyle a bit more healthier, then you will save them costs in the long term. And that's the big beauty around that preventive case. To your integration question, we are developing a pilot with one of the government insurances here in Germany. We are also speaking with a lot of private health insurances, both in the US and in Europe.
Okay. So the majority of my audience is US. Okay, so for US health insurance companies, it's tricky because the prevention, we all agree prevention is more cost effective than treatment. The problem is that because of health insurance being largely attached to employment and Americans changing jobs often, it's hard to align the incentives because basically we don't know if people are going to be insured with us next year, right? So any money we spend this year in prevention is saving money in the long term to the overall health spending of the US, but it might not be with us. Have you found that US health insurance companies are becoming friendlier to spending on prevention, and especially using technology for prevention, or is it complicated to get them there?
I think from a technology side, they are quite open. And you can say this for this industry. There are other industries which are more open, but I think they are not more closed than Europeans or others. So I think they are even more open for technology. I see the problem of the ties with the employment. And there you need to differentiate between very, very long-term effects and mid-term effects. For example, for the mental health part, there you can have an effect because when you see, oh, my employee is getting a mental health problem, an anxiety risk, maybe he will be sick for the next 3-4 months, and I have a problem there. So there is an incentive to stop that on a bit earlier stage. For the very long term, it's totally true what you said. There is one other benefit for them, because right now, I wanted to ask you this actually. So how many touch points do you have with your health insurer? How often a year do you speak or interact with them?
I mean, when I have to renew, or in the rare times when I have to go to the doctor, it really is a once a year kind of thing.
It's a once a year kind of thing, and they don't know a lot about your health. They don't know how often you go to McDonald's or how often you go to the gym. They don't know, and they don't generate this data. With us, this changes that we have a tool super easy to use and just use it at home whenever you want, and you create this digital health touch point, which is positive because it basically says, hey, you're doing nice, you could do this better. So they care a bit more for you, and obviously they get this data seeing how healthy is my portfolio, or do I have a lot of problems in my portfolio which I was unaware.
Okay, so both it allows the health insurance company to get better, more often data on me, and it also helps them analyze their overall portfolio.
So the individual data points are, from a regulatory perspective, not allowed to be shared. So you cannot blame one person individually. But on a big data analytics, you can always do that. When you see, I assumed, I don't know, 40% of my 30 to 40-year-old are healthy in terms of blood pressure, and then you do the big data analytics and see, oh, 70% are or 80% are unhealthy. So then you should change your risk assumptions, or you will change your risk assumptions. So on this big data analytics, this is always possible.
Oh, but it's at the portfolio level. That's super interesting. No, since I come from property casualty, I did not know that.
Yeah, exactly. And on the individual touch point, this is obviously a good access point, because when you have access to the user and are more often than your health insurer speaking to a user, and then you can say, hey, okay, we see you're not doing super good in your health. Can we help you with that? Do you want to do this course? Do you need support here? Things like that is always possible. And these are positive touch points, because usually you speak with your health insurer when you have a claim, when you want that they pay you something, or had an accident, you need something, and that's good, or that's what they like about it.
Okay, I'm always curious on so it looks like the company's been around for about 1.5 years. So what kind of feedback are you getting from the insurers that you're partnering with, or that you're doing POCs with?
Pilot, yeah. So I think one concern is always data security. This is always, especially Europe,
Especially
right?
health, and especially Europe.
Especially
Yeah.
health, especially Europe. So that's always a concern. So we need to take care of this always with GDPR, HIPAA compliance. And then it's always this technology is quite new, so you have to believe in it. When you say, this will never work, then is not moving forward. But you have to believe that technology can do amazing things like that. And then we can prove this. There is clinical validation for all these biomarkers, and the accuracy levels are, for example, comparable to a home device where you measure your blood pressure, the one with the cuff. So it's that level. It's not a diagnostic device you would use in an hospital, but that's also not the purpose of it. It's a free, fast, accessible screening. And so this is one challenge they always have. On the opposite, what they like a lot is this engagement points. So user engagement, even in the early stages, and the early detections of the mid-time things. So like skin diseases, mental diseases, that's very, very important for them, because they have an immediate impact. They detect it and then can immediately do something. And then they obviously believe in this long case that you take care of your health in earlier ages, that in the long term it will save costs. But that's something they take for granted. They are not challenging at the moment, because it will need 20 years to prove that.
Yeah, so it's really an engagement play in the short term, which I agree, all insurance needs that, because otherwise we're just a commodity that the consumer is simply looking to minimize the cost, because we don't have the relationship the way that Apple, Google, consumer brands have the relationship. What is the pricing like, and what is the revenue model?
Yeah. So usually we do fixed contracts with the insurers, where they have then a capacity of checks they do, and we see different patterns in our users. Some use it even weekly, which is crazy for a preventative check. Others do it monthly, which is very good. And then you just, as an insurer, you get you get a capacity of a number of checks, and in a contract, and you can use this for your users. We can also do some user tiers. So there we are flexible, because for us it's easy. It's just what the insurers like more. But usually they like it when it's fixed, because then they can calculate it in their pricing. It's easier for them.
All right. Always curious on the origin story. How did you realize that this was something that was a good idea for health insurance?
Yeah, so this developed a bit. I was working in the healthcare system before and have seen that prevention is basically non-existent. Is, as I said, we spend all our money and all our time to work on diseases and nothing on prevention. So I always was motivated to build something in that space. And I've seen that the current preventative journey is very fragmented. When I assume you look healthy, so I assume you're kind of healthy or feel okay-ish. When you want to do prevention is a lot of wait time until you get all the doctor appointments. You have multiple doctors because there's no prevention doctor. So it's like you go to the dermatologist, to your family doctor, maybe to a cardiologist. In the end, until you have this 360-degree picture of your health. So it's very fragmented. And I always had the vision, we need to make this simpler and we need to bundle it in one platform. There needs to be one thing where you can do this very easy. So that was my take. And then there was my co-founder, Filippo, which I met. He was coming a bit more from this longevity angle and hot topic at the moment, I would say, and had basically the same problem that no one really takes care of all these screenings, and researched and found a lot of those smartphone-based health screenings and wanted to build his own health screening first. And then he thought, oh, there are so many, why is no one bundling them? And then at one point we came together, said, okay, let's build a platform. Let's bundle all existing screenings from smartphone at the ones which are missing, building ourselves, and have this one platform for prevention. And yeah, let's go. Why did we choose also insurance as a distribution channel, or as a channel which we want to work with? So I worked in insurance before, and I knew basically the problem of engagement, and I knew the problem of portfolio risks. So that I thought, okay, could be a fit. Let's try it. And since then we are speaking with them and learning more and more about the problem and where they want to position it, how they want to position it, what they want to have. And yeah, I think last point to add was also the data, because at my previous work at Munich Re, I learned, okay, insurance is basically a big data play. The more data you have, the better you can build around that. So that's always interesting for them.
Okay.
That was a long answer, huh?
Fantastic. Yeah, the bundling makes a lot of sense. On both sides, from the user perspective, if I'm going to do a screening, I don't want to do 10 different ones. And from the health insurance perspective, same story. Give me all the data at once.
Exactly, because it doesn't help you if you know your heart health is good and the next day you are diagnosed with lung cancer. This doesn't help you. You want to have an overall check. You want to know as much as possible to comply. Yeah.
Absolutely. What else is in the development roadmap? What's coming in the next few months that you can already speak about?
Yeah, so I think we have some commitments for insurance pilots. So this will be delivered and announced. I think I'm looking forward to that. And then, as said, especially on the technology of the eye, we are working on that and will announce new models which will be available in the app. So there will be new features, new detections possible. And I think what's also exciting, we are at, because I've seen that David Gritz was also in your podcast a couple of episodes ago, and we are going to the Intertech New York match program this autumn. It's in September. So I think that's a cool chance to speak with even more and yeah, develop here our track record.
Excellent, excellent. Johannes, thank you very much for your time. Very cool what you guys are building. Look forward to see it expand, both in the number of users it reaches and the things it can do. Really fascinating that so many things can be gleaned from a couple of minutes with my phone's many sensors. So yeah, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you so much that I could present this here. And yeah, I'm looking forward to see you again. And then you will hopefully have our app on your phone already.